I recovered at the end of the season. She said I was all good, so I'm just continuing to do recovery on my whole entire body, and we'll figure it out going into year 3. That was my focus, is off season, just being completely healthy. Here it says the Sky didn't have the best 2025 season. The team closed things out with a 10-34 record. God damn. And in 12th place in the rankings, Reese vented her frustration with how the team was performing in September and was suspended for a half game.
I quit. Those were the words people inside Team USA camp say changed everything. On the final day, when Caitlin Clark was named the starter, the gym didn't erupt, it fractured. From the beginning, the camp carried a quiet tension, not loud or chaotic, but heavy, the kind that hangs in the air before something breaks. Cameras were limited, media kept at a distance, and key decisions were made behind closed doors, including one that had already been settled. When the lineup appeared, there was no announcement or speech, just names written on a board with Clark's at the top. Players leaned in, assistants froze, and the room went still. Angel Reese saw it immediately. Not just a board, but the message behind it and the collision it represented. For her, this wasn't about a role or minutes on the floor. It was about identity. She had always been the center, the spark, the emotional engine of her teams. But this camp was different, and in that moment, everything changed.
To do with that team. Listen to the quote. I'm under contract. I guess I plan on returning to the Sky. I guess. I'm under contract for next year. I guess I'll be there. Hey, y'all gotta trade her. She don't want to be there, bro. The locker room it's cancered already. It is done. The locker room is in a stage of chemo. Respectfully, it's over. Y'all seen Courtney Vandersloot go on camera and say, "Yeah, I will be back," even though other people were saying otherwise. I will be back.
The ball moved quicker without her demanding it. The spacing sharper without forced touches, and the coaches noticed, not out of favoritism, but efficiency. Then came the practice that struck the match. Scrimmage time, full speed, no easing up. Caitlin brought the ball up, hesitated, and pulled from a logo. Free. Clean. The gym didn't cheer. It went still, the kind of silence that signals understanding. Next possession, another shot, another reminder. Clark wasn't being flashy. She was being final. Angel felt control slipping. She answered with effort, more contact, more force, but the game refused to bend. It flowed past her. Each touch felt heavier, each possession tighter, frustration creeping in. Not anger, something closer to panic. By the break, the locker room felt divided, not by seats but by mindset. One side steady and locked in, the other unsettled. And then Angel spoke, not loud or soft, just unmistakably direct.
Let's go ahead and get into it right now.
Then in their very near future. And we wrote about that on the site, just like how people have been perceiving the negotiations and what still affects them and what they're thinking about with regards to the new collective bargaining agreement. But for now, just good time at camp, 3 days in North Carolina, a little snow on one of the days, just a little taste of the winter in the South. But
right.
Yeah, it was interesting just to see what Carol Lawson is prioritizing in terms of how she wants to make her imprint on this program. And just fun to see the players in a live game situation again, because you think about Caitlin hasn't played since July 15th,
Yes.
There are 4 sparks of this camp. Their season ended on September 11th, right? So it's been a long time since any of them have really played competitive basketball. You saw some situations where Caitlin's stuck guarding Kelsey and Kelsey's, knocking her off the ball and Caitlin gets called for a foul and she starts yelling.
She wanted to start, not a bench role, not a complimentary piece. She wanted to be the piece everything was built around. That was a turning point. The staff didn't respond emotionally. They responded structurally. What worked? What didn't? What did the film actually show? Every answer pointed the same outcome. Clark stays, role stays set. Then came the moment that ended it. Angel stood, hesitated for half a beat, and said the words everyone would repeat later. I quit. No shouting. No theatrics. Just finality. She gathered her things, didn't wait for a reply, and didn't look back. When the door closed, The gym held its breath for a full 10 seconds. The reaction followed immediately. Players frozen, assistants looking away. This wasn't just someone walking out. It was a crack in the plan, and everyone in the room felt it. The irony was impossible to ignore.
Make a game to go from down 5 to up 13. Like that, well, basically it was down 15 to up 10 against Phoenix Mercury last year, where every single basket, other than one, was either scored or assisted by Caitlin Clark in what was the craziest game of her career. Where it's funny, if you look back on that game, I think she had 15 points and 13 assists, and on 4 of 15 shooting. And people were just like, "Oh, this was a terrible game." I remember people posting stats and were like, "Oh, inefficient. She nearly lost in that game." And it's like, I literally was like, go to the box score and look at what happened from when they were down 10 to up, or down 15 to up 10. 2 points, Caitlin Clark. 2 points, X, assisted by Caitlin Clark. 3 points, Elizabeth Smith, assisted by Caitlin, assisted by Caitlin, assisted by Caitlin, scored by Caitlin, assisted by Caitlin, assisted by Caitlin. It's like, that's kind of the way she plays, and she needs to be happy. She needs to be happy. She needs to play with joy. And that's kind of, for me, that's one of what I always say is the only reason I don't like Stephanie White as a coach for Caitlin.
Here's the part no one could overlook. The same camp that once questioned Caitlin, the same system that tried to slow her down, was now built around her, and it worked. The reversal was total. Hours later, the story shifted again when word from Angel's camp emerged. Regret crept in. Doubt followed. The message softened, then changed. She wanted back in. She wanted to start. She wanted her role returned. But by that point, the camp had already moved forward, and there was no turning back.
To those refs, if they are not calling the game right. I remember there was a clip showing De'Erica Hamby getting that double team hard hedge going on Caitlin, and they were like, "Oh, Caitlin is still pushing off." Look, Hamby's arm was across Caitlin's chest. All right, I did want to bring this into this video. Hamby reaching across the chest is a foul on Hamby. All right, she was restricting her freedom of movement. You can't do that, fam. You got to slide those puppies. Now, I'm not too surprised that players could not handle Caitlin Clark passes. We saw that happen in the first year, right? So when you have players who don't necessarily play with her, never play with her, they're going to have a learning curve. Right? They're going to have a learning curve. Now, I do feel like Chelsea Gray had some really stylish passes in some of those clips. So I don't know why it's so hard to keep up with Caitlin Clark. Maybe because she threads that needle and she puts it right where you need it, right where it needs to be, right? And as they stated, De'Erica Hamby had a situation where she got the ball, and I think that's when she got blocked. I think that's what she's talking about. But she got the ball, brought it down, right? Caitlin Clark is going to put it right where you need it so you can get it and go up with it. That's another level of skill, another level of thinking, another level of, I'm thinking 10 steps ahead, right? It's not only getting the ball to the player, it's getting the ball where the player needs it. That's another level of facilitating. That's why we say, man, Caitlin Clark is the top guard, man, all right? Y'all start the conversation in the chat, but I'm just saying, Chelsea Gray.
Final day reality hit fast. There were no meetings, no negotiations. Basketball doesn't stop to recalibrate. Caitlin ran the last session, set the pace, directed traffic, and Team USA looked composed. This wasn't punishment or favoritism. It was progression, a system choosing efficiency over emotion, rhythm over resistance. Final day, final call. One player walked out chasing control, another stayed and assumed it, and Team USA made its decision not through speeches, but through the game itself. Because when the pressure climbs and the margins shrink, only what works survives.